Stonehenge. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Like,
can we get back to Mark Zuckerberg because we started?
To it. Let's go on the Zuck.
Yeah.
The Zuck. What's the Zuck doing?
So first of all, let's talk about the ominousness of that picture in the beginning of the article. When you look at Mark Zuckerberg walking in a group of people where
this is a picture of life.
Exactly.
Everybody looking at Facebook.
Everyone is living in a false world while he roams around free.
I said the Matrix.
So maybe
that's the Matrix.
That might have something to do with flat Earth.
Hey. But so basically what happened was they were building these VR goggles, and they had scripted in like the what was it? It was printed like inside the goggles on like part of the machinery.
Right.
Phrases like "Big Brother is watching."
Really?
And
Masons.
what was the other?
The
Masons were here.
What?
Printed on the goggles, right? So people started cracking them open and like taking pictures.
Go back up. I think it's.
And so, of course, they're saying it was an accident. These were never supposed to be released. It was supposed to be removed before they were shipped. This was for the prototypes. They were Easter eggs for the prototypes. Right. It's like it sounds.
What are we in Assassin's Creed? What is going on,
bro? Facebook just keeps getting. They want all the power, bro.
Oh, of course. That makes all these companies want all the power. We're gonna live in a conglomerate society. Amazon, Facebook, Google, they are doing everything they can. Disney, they're doing everything they can to consolidate power.
Isn't that perfect though? Because what was the internet when it first jumped off? When YouTube first got created?
Yeah,
it was the Wild Wild West.
It was the Wild West. Yeah,
and everyone said
that though. Like if you remember, I remember hearing like whoever could figure out how to monetize and control this is going to be stupid rich.
But not only stupid rich, but powerful.
Yeah.
Because like what they're doing is they're literally funneling information to us.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody most people have a Facebook.
Right.
And everybody uses Google.
Well, Facebook is actually declining amongst teenagers.
It is.
Most of them don't even have. Actually,
teenagers don't. But that's still most people.
Soccer this weekend, like. One of the young dudes showed up and he was like, "Oh, I want to let me know when you guys are playing." I'm like, "Oh, I add you to the Facebook group." I don't have Facebook.
Yeah, but what does he have?
Instagram,
Facebook.
Well, I know
it's the same thing. This is that's what I'm saying.
WhatsApp, Facebook, but they don't have a Facebook.
They don't have a Facebook, but I mean, you're still connected even if you have an Instagram.
But Instagram is a lot less invasive than Facebook is. You know what I mean?
That's what now I'm going to sound like the conspiracy theorist. That's what you think. I mean, if it's connected, the information's there, and if the data is there, then they can.
But what I'm saying is, what I mean by that, I mean by like people don't go to Instagram to get news.
Oh, they don't go to Instagram they don't go there to get news. They just go there to look at stuff. But
right.
the more intriguing thing about social media in terms of that is like, you know, if they can see what you're looking at, they know what to show you, and that has it creates another bubble. Mm-hmm. Now you're seeing only things that they think you like to see.
Right.
Which is what happens with, like, if you look at the things you like and then you go to Instagram on your explore page, it's just going to be more things you like.
Exactly.
It's not going to be actually exploring anything. It's like, oh, you like this.
It's the same thing for Facebook.
Same thing for Facebook. The more stuff you like,
it just continues the algorithm continues to refine.
Right. It continues to reflect yourself.
Did you ever watch the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk?
Yes.
Did you see when he was talking about how we are all like inadvertently programming the AI system that's going to replace us with all of our
AI
searches?
Is super scary.
Yeah. So every time we're searching something, every time we buy something on Amazon, we're literally telling this AI algorithm who we are and what we are.
And that's a lot more dangerous than anything else.
I just saw another article that was talking about how, like, you know how sometimes you'll be talking about something. You won't even search it. Your phone is away.
Yeah.
You pick up your phone and what you were talking about shows up on Facebook as an advertisement.
Right.
Well, there was an article that was written that was talking about like how sometimes it's not that your phone is listening to you.
It's not.
It's that they can track certain movements that you've made, and there's an algorithm that knows, like, okay, if you're someone who just searched this and just did that, and
an
then
interesting thing about that is my business model, my FI Media. What we do when we help market for people is we kind of use that.
Maybe look at this. Your phone is listening. It's not paranoid.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's not really that it's listening. It's just tracking what you do, what you're looking at, what you like,
and then they can predict,
and it's predictive
what you want,
right,
based off of that.
That's what I'm saying,
right?
Like, you know, everything that you do online is watched and monitored, and then sold back to you in another form. So I
Right.
mean, that's
Sounds like the devil.
I think it's listening because I'll say something and then it'll pop up.
I honestly
how do
think
you
it is
explain
too,
that?
because I'll say something ambiguous, like talk about a car,
right.
and then the
Yeah.
advertisement for that car is on my phone.
Well, you know
what I
what's
mean?
weird? Like, you do things that you don't realize you're doing. Like, if you're thinking about a car, right?
Right.
You might. It can track things that you're not thinking it's tracking.
I know.
Like,
but
if you,
I
it's not,
understand that, and I get that argument because people have said that. But I'll literally like I'll do it in times where I make sure I haven't even touched my
right.
phone.
You're just testing it out.
I'm just testing it out, and it will do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
It's weird.
I'm not going to 100% say it's not listening. I don't know. I mean, that would be ridiculous to believe that they're not. Why would they not? They want as much information as they can. So
Yeah, they that information is money now.
Information is
is the new currency, bro.
Information and attention are currency. If you have attention, then you can disseminate information,
Right.
and then you're valuable.
Right.
I think especially with the advertising thing and the secret phone listening,
Yeah.
like it's probably definitely doing it,
Yeah.
but they're not taking it and taking all of this information and realistically putting it into a supercomputer
No,
where
no,
they
no.
can all control us.
Right.
Like, I don't even think they can do that yet. Like,
No.
maybe, but it's more just used to slowly like spend your money and destroy your life.
But-
they're using it
Right.
mostly for
what
consumerism.
it does
And track
do,
Trump.
what it does what it does do is it creates an algorithm though, like so like for Google, for example, they can, all of this stuff is being processed in the server that then categorizes everything and can make predictions on people based off of certain things. And
Well,
then,
the more information it has, the more accurate the predictions are going
Right,
to be.
exactly.
So, I mean, like, you know, it's not ridiculous to assume that they might. Now, I don't know how they would record all that information and store it because, you know, as you know, audio information adds up over a period of time.
Yeah.
And all the times people are just talking, that's a lot of information to store and just to have. So, I mean,
but there's also dictation. So
Yeah.
there's probably software that can take everything that's being said and then transcribe it in real time to actual, information that's just text, which takes up less
could be
space,
possible.
You know,
But you know, I don't even. The thing with me is, I don't think they need it because I think people are more honest in what they write online than they are in what they say. Like, someone's search history is way crazier
Yeah.
than what they're talking about out loud.
right?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like, if you looked at what somebody was searching, you'd be like, oh, this person. You could tell.
Yeah.
Like, just you as an
Yeah.
individual would be like,
Yep.
oh, this person's about to.
Yeah.
You know, do
I mean,
this.
don't they use that in to solve crimes?
Yes, in court and everything, like in all those, like they look at what you're looking at. You know, were you about to were you thinking about purchasing this? It's like, you know, all that stuff that tells you enough about a person that, you know, I wouldn't have to necessarily hear what you, because people talking about a whole bunch of bull crap like that really doesn't mean anything to them all day. But
Right.
you're searching stuff that's important to you.
Exactly.
Like, people are going to be out there looking up flat Earth right now.
Look at
Dude, I was looking up all these.
Everyone's Googling Copernicus right now.
right?
Look what you guys did.
Oh my god, we just broke the internet.
I was looking up a bunch of like real far right racists, basically.
Yeah.
Just to see like where
See
their
where
heads
they're
were
coming from.
And I was thinking about it like, damn, what if somebody like
Looks at your
looked at
history.
my history right now.
Like, yo, Jake, you wow.
You don't know the FBI is watching you right now, bro.
But
Like,
it-
and
I'm
now
act-
you talk about flat Earth. Oh, you done? Bro. You done?
Nah, but
It's funny though because you never know why somebody's.
yeah, you don't know why somebody would say, yeah, you
Bianca
could make
said
it.
you better
But
clear
if
the
you did,
cookies and clear the search history all the time.
it's too late, Bianca. They already
too
got
late.
it. It's
They
too
got
late.
you.
Once you do it, they got
Yeah,
it.
they got you.
But yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily know why, but that's why patterns are important. So like, you couldn't do it off one time because maybe you're listening to the podcast and you're like, I never heard of Copernicus. And now
Right.
you're Googling that. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a flat
Dude,
earther.
Right.
Just by getting back to that though, it's kind of crazy because you know how they got the black Israelites.
Yes.
You know, there's a version of the white Israelites.
Sure. Is there?
Like literally these people who believe in Hitler.
Yeah.
They believe like
Hitler was like sent to
yeah, and they
well, no, because there is like conspiracy theory that Hitler was actually controlled opposition to put the Jews back in Israel, right?
What
I
a
mean-
nutso belief is
No,
this?
no,
Dude,
no,
this
no,
is a
no.
real conspiracy.
No, I'm not saying it's not, but what a nutso conspiracy
Right,
is.
right, right.
I mean,
so but think about it, like, so
Yeah.
create a Hitler,
Right.
to make to give Jews, because think about it. If you're one of these conspiracy theorists, right, and you believe that so the Jews were at a point where they weren't really being oppressed like that, right?
Right.
So they needed a massive event to get them back into Israel.
But you're gonna so whoever thinks that someone's gonna sacrifice 6 million people,
it's crazy, bro.
Then there's
dude, there's way more in other countries.
But I'm talking about if you're talking about Hitler as being a tool to do it.
Well,
right?
if you don't have a problem with it, then how?
If he doesn't have a problem, I'm saying if you believe that, a pro-Jewish person is going to tell Hitler, let's kill 6 million people.
Because you've heard of the what are they called? Rothschilds. You heard of them, right? Yes. I mean, they're Jewish, but they're not really Jewish. You know what I mean? They have their own.
So you think that they would say, let's go?
Well, let's talk about humans are capable of some crazy.
Humans are capable of crazy stuff.
Well, let's bring up, for example, Pol Pot, right? Mm-hmm. You know about the genocide in Cambodia, right?
Yes, Cambodia.
So that's where that's how he got. So we were talking about the Young Lion picture,
the Young Lion cover. Yeah,
that's where that comes from, because he was a refugee from that whole massacre. His mom was taken into slavery when she was 13 years old, and she had to escape and get to Thailand in order to get freed. So think about how many people that dude killed of his own people. But thinking that he was doing the right thing.
Now, see, it's a lot easier for me to believe that a person can come to power on hate. Right. A person can come to power on fear mongering, and people are very susceptible towards projecting their issues onto another group of people, an entire group. So that happens, all over the world constantly. It happened,
but he came to power based off of just sheer force, though. Like he didn't. That's all. It wasn't like
in order to get enough.
But he was a great speaker.
No, yeah.
In order to get enough force to do something like that, you have to sway a certain either if it's not a certain amount of people, it's a certain type of people.
Right.
And to do that, then they have to be, primed towards shutting down a certain empathy towards humanity. So that's where I think it would be difficult for someone who likes, and back to the other I want to go back to that thing before we come back to it. So for me to believe that a conspiracy where someone was pro a group would sacrifice that many people of a group is difficult for me. It's much more difficult for me to believe than Hitler used fear to galvanize his own ideas and hatred onto a group of people. And
that's why I brought up Pol Pot, because he literally thought that Cambodians were the truest. He believed that the Cambodians were needed to be pure, right? But he ended up killing millions of them in the process. Yes. You know what I mean?
This happens a lot, though. So, the sense of other, the concept of other. Yeah, Rwanda. Yeah. I mean, it happened, it's happened multiple times in many places, but this sense of otherness of, these are the correct people, these are the incorrect people.
Right.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No, I'm not even talking about the ones he killed because they weren't Cambodian. I'm talking about the ones he killed because they starved, because they were enslaved, or because they
why did they get caught up in it? Were they were against his ideals?
No,
perhaps, or they were just
everyone suffered because of
war
him.
Creates suffering.
No. Everyone suffered because of his took
ideas.
all of the food,
right,
and he said, "I'm going to control this, and no one eats unless you do what I say," right, but no one eats anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I want a straight up dictator, and there's been a whole bunch of those throughout history.
Right.
That is.
But he truly believed that he was helping his people, though. That's what I'm saying. Like the weird. That's my point.
No one is crazy to themselves.
But that's my point. That there is crazy people like that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you don't see how someone could be crazy enough to kill that many people to try to advance the same people. I'm just saying that crazy.
No,
exists.
I'm not saying somebody might have that idea, but
all I gotta say is Thanos.
Well, first of all, Thanos might be right.
Thanos might be right.
Thanos might be right. Right? I mean, there's a lot of people on the planet.
But you look at somebody like George Soros. You know what I mean? That guy has
You're naming. You're
Bianca
naming.
said Thanos too.
You're naming all the conspiracy people.
No, but this isn't
Soros. No, I'm just saying.
No,
but like, if
this isn't
Soros
conspiracy,
is,
though,
Soros
like-
is a real
no,
dude.
he's a real person.
Of all the financial titans and philanthropists of the 20th century, none are more complex or mysterious than George Soros. Like Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and the Rockefellers, he amassed billions through ruthless business decisions, only to turn around and give away most of his fortune to advance his own personal philosophy.
But I'm just saying, these are all the names that, like, you know, combined.
You hear Alex Jones say Soros a million times.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go with the conspiracy.
Let me ask you this question: are you going to at any point mention lizard people?
No,
because I'll have to leave.
That is.
But what I'm saying
I did
about
watch a documentary on that.
like George Soros, he literally has funded a bunch of stuff to get his way.
Soros makes huge bets on whole countries and economies. Last year, when he saw cracks in the Asia boom, he began selling the currency in Thailand. Traders in Hong Kong followed suit, triggering a financial crisis that plunged much of Asia into a depression. In the last 2 years, you've been blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
And there's no other reason but that he's trying to gain power.
Yeah.
And money.
No. Everyone wants power.
Videos of him saying
So
that.
so that's my point. Like,
I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
you can have
Everyone wants power, and people are
Like,
willing to do anything
even
for
to
it.
have like the whole Zionist movement to get these Jews into Israel.
I just don't see. I mean, that.
But
there's a lot of.
How did we get on this anyway?
I'm not sure
because we were talking about Hitler.
But no. We were talking about something else, and
I'm not sure how we got.
went from Facebook.
Facebook got us here. Somehow.
We were talking about like
Rachel's like, I'm out of this. I don't
No,
know.
because I was talking about looking up all these
he's
far
talking
right
about the
people.
far right
Oh,
movement and the
God.
Hebrew Israelites and the white and the white version of it that
white
believe that in this, and I was like,
Hebrews,
that's a crazy conspiracy.
Yeah, okay.
So when I
Jake.
Okay.
told you I'm down to talk about anything.
Yeah, me too.
No,
but we started going left.
No, dude, but it's. I mean, you never know why people go.
Dude, I believe you. I trust. I know that people are capable of some crazy stuff. It's happened
People
throughout
are crazy.
our entire history.
People are out of their minds.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier in another discussion, an earlier discussion, people like when someone is 100% sure, which is
Right.
why a lot of people don't like science, which is why a lot of people who have a lot of people who have information, have, you know, interesting points of views, they're not 1,000% sure. Like, I can never just tell you like, yeah, that's it, that's what it is. But someone who's crazy, they'll be like, this is what it is, and people will believe them because they say it with authority. They say it with, you know, they're like, believe this. They're like, and people will latch on to that because it's
Scientology.
like Scientology, like science, or, you know, a lot of different, you know, belief systems or thought systems, or
I mean, any dogmatic religion. Is that way.
but they will follow dogmatic leaders, like, and dogmatic leaders aren't necessarily bound by facts as much as they are
So
by.
you mean like AOC?
I like
Here we
AOC.
go. Here we
I
go.
like AOC. That's my shorty.